Hello, Blodes and Sisters. Welcome to the Afri Talk podcast, where we come together as a community to discuss, share our experiences, and learn from one another as Africans in the diaspora. And my name is Jackie. Thank you for watching and listening to my previous video or podcast. If you've not had a chance, I'll put a link in the description box so you can go and listen or watch. And this week, I'm going to talk to Brian. He's going to tell us a little bit about himself and also his experience so far in the Netherlands. Welcome, Brian.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up on an island in the Caribbean. It's called Saint Lucia.
Saint Lucia. Okay. Were you born there?
No, I wasn't born there. I was born in the Netherlands, but I did actually grow up my whole life in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean. Okay. Yeah. And how was it growing up there? How was the life there?
Well, normally people think it's a easy, nice, chill life over there. Yes, there is a lot of sunshine, but there's a lot of rough things to the sunshine over there.
Rough things like what kind of rough things? What kind of idea should we get?
Well, I'll just generally define it as third world. Yeah.
Third world. So there's a lot of poverty there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of struggles. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And how was it growing up as a young person? Were you were you privileged? Were you more privileged than other kids?
Yeah, so that's the thing about my upbringing. I call it all class, middle class, and lower class.
Upper class, middle, okay.
Yeah.
So you were in between.
Very variating life over there. Yeah.
Okay.
But I would say mostly grew up within let's call it the middle class setting.
Yeah. Middle class. At least your own is better than some of us. So. For me, for example, we took it like that. You can't complain.
Yeah.
Where in Saint Lucia did you grow up actually?
I grew up in the northern region of Saint Lucia.
Okay. And when did you get to know that you were moving to the west, to the Netherlands?
Well, that was the thing. So like growing up there, we sort of like me and my siblings, we sort of all knew that ultimately we will end up going to the Netherlands. Yes, just because we were born there. So it was almost like just a life preparation to go to the West. Yeah.
Okay. First, sorry, let me go back. Why did you actually move from the Netherlands to Saint Lucia? Why did you grow up there actually?
Oh, yeah. So, my father actually comes from there. So, when I was young, my parents just decided that they wanted to go and live over there.
Okay, and then you later came here to just study yourself. Okay, at what age did you come?
I came here when I was 17, together with my brother. Yeah.
No parents?
No.
How old was your brother then?
I think he was 18 or 19.
And your parents allowed you guys, they trusted you guys go and study?
Well, yeah, we did. We do have other siblings who already made that trip before us. So it was more, they were fully confident that, if things happen, it can be taken care of.
Yeah. Okay. But before you moved to the Netherlands, what were your expectations?
Of the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, as you know, I come from the Caribbean, so just the very common things. I think number one was, the whole coffee shop, marijuana setting. That was basically all we really know about the Netherlands in the Caribbean. We don't know much about the Netherlands. Yeah.
Only we did.
Yeah, weed, cows, milk. Not much. All. Yeah. But I think that's because I come from the British Caribbean, so we're not really in tune with the Dutch world.
But didn't you do any research or something? Couldn't you see a bit more broader, broader light or something ahead of you? Okay, maybe when I come here, I will do this, I will do that.
Nah, to be honest, for me, I just really generalized it. I just thought of, okay, I'm going from third world to first world, where everything is big and grand and great.
And rich.
Generally, exactly.
When you go to the Netherlands, how was it for you? For someone coming from a third world to first class world or something?
Yeah. So one thing in the beginning that I would say I kind of struggled with, because like I told you, I grew up mostly in a middle class setting. So coming over here and people already having that perception that you may come from from real poverty or something like that, it was kind of like a little bit strange. So you sort of got that treatment whilst you felt like, okay, but I do see the world almost in the same way as you. So yeah, kind of confused here. Yeah.
And how did you got that treatment? Were people asking you questions about how you grew up and if you were poor or something?
Well, yeah, let's put it like this. I did once have a class about what was it called? Cross cultural awareness. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a lesson about stereotyping, where teacher thought, yeah, they would use me as a nice example of stereotyping. And
Wow.
then really thought that I actually came from a specific area in the Netherlands. And then I thought like, yeah, but I'm sorry, but I don't know the people who you're talking about. So I can't really relate to your example.
Who was the teacher comparing you with?
Yeah, she was yeah, basically stereotyping and showing like, yeah, so people like him, they commonly grow up and come from Amsterdam Belmer. And then I was like, oh, where is Amsterdam Belmer? I'm not really sure
Ah.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Where was the school at that time? Where were you living?
I was living in Amsterdam at that time. Yeah, University of Applied Sciences, Amsterdam.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you were not
So
living in the Belmer, so you didn't know
no, no,
what
no. Actually, at that time, I
okay.
was living in the west of Amsterdam. So like
Okay.
everything on the southeast part of Amsterdam, I was like completely unaware of anything over
Mm,
there. Yeah,
okay, so things like that. Wow.
yeah. So like you get
Wow.
placed into a category, and then you're like, okay, but what is this category? I'm not really sure what it is. Yeah, I guess generally that when people ask me where I'm from, and I say the Caribbean, that they already have like a predetermined image of all your interests and what you can do and what you cannot do.
Mm,
So it was like a bit difficult for me to come here and then newly have people define what my life should be. So
mm,
then, yeah, it's like, yeah, sorry, but I don't want to settle for that. Yeah.
Like I can see you are well lighter than me. So I assume you, I don't know, maybe I don't know, are your parents
And my mother is generally what, yeah, people would refer to as white.
okay.
And father is black. But
Okay. But
even
when you came here, were you well seen as a white person or as a black person?
that's the funny thing. I like that you asked that. So yeah, generally in the Caribbean, I am seen as a white boy, and here in the Netherlands, I am seen as a black boy.
Mm.
That's very confusing for me. Yeah.
Okay. How does that make you feel when people, when people choose what you are?
Yeah, I just feel like I just get stereotyped by those things. So like,
Mhm.
for instance, over here, that's a very weird thing over here. I find like, especially in the beginning, a lot of the experiences which I had was like, okay, so if you see me as black, does that mean that you're defining me for lower class? That is a bit
Mm.
off. Yeah, that always seemed a bit off. Like you would sense that people feel like you're a bit less knowing of what's out there just because they categorize you as black.
Mm.
And then yeah, it's just very weird thing to go through.
I'm coming from Ghana, and in Ghana, when you are when one of your parents is from the West and you are,
Mm,
mixed, they also see you as a white person over there, and you get
yeah.
a lot of privilege. Like
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
privileges are so many. Everywhere you go,
Mm,
you get special treatment.
mm,
You basically, get everything.
yeah.
You are you get treated better than other people who are a bit, whose
Mm,
skin color are darker than your own.
yeah, not true.
Was that the case in Saint Lucia for you?
Well, I don't know about treating better, but that may just have something to do with me personally.
Mm.
Yeah, as a teenager, I was quite troublesome, so I don't think I got better treatment. I find it a little bit difficult to answer.
Yeah, no, I understand. But you said you were troublesome, and
Mm.
were you troublesome at home or at school or in the neighborhood?
Oh, everywhere where I could find a place to be troublesome. Yeah.
Were you punished or were you always were they always like, that child is always like that, so never mind?
No. I was definitely punished. I was used as the example to be
Okay.
punished. But
So you
yeah,
didn't get the special treatment or something like that?
no, not necessarily.
No. Your own is good. At least they gave you straight. In my
Yeah,
country, for example, even if you misbehave, they'll still say, he's white, so white people that's how they behave. So just leave it. So your
yeah.
own is good. Your own is good. So when you came here and you were perceived as a black man, as a black person,
Mm,
did you accept it that you were black, or did you always resist it and said, no, I'm not black, I'm Brian, I'm not
mm,
black, I'm not white, I'm
mm.
a human? How was that for
Yeah.
you?
Well, I mean, in the very beginning, to be honest, coming from the Caribbean, being called white practically most of your life, and being stereotyped for that also, which is not very nice always. Um, Coming here and being called black for the first time, I was like, oh, thank you, finally, I can be black, thank you. Yeah,
Mm, I can also understand that part.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think, yeah, probably a lot more other people like me probably have the same experience. But yeah, I mean, afterwards, after some time, you start to realize, yeah, this labeling is not necessarily positive.
And do you feel that you have to choose between the two?
I did once upon a time feel like that, but to be honest, as of recent years, um, yeah, I just decided, yeah, I'm me, I'm Brian, and I'm mixed, and where are the mixed people at? Yeah,
There are a lot, a lot, I can tell you. A lot of mixed people. And I do have also mixed friends, mixed people. I don't mean, like, some people get, honestly, some people get insulted when you call them mixed or
mm-hmm.
biracial, or
Mm-hmm.
where I come from, we actually call them half caste. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
so some people don't mind, some people really get offended. So they
Mm-hmm.
are like, just say I'm half this and half that. Just call me like, but for me, it's for
Mm-hmm.
someone like me, it's a bit difficult to,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
don't know how. Yeah, so how do
No,
you
I get
want
what you mean.
to be
Yeah.
called? Do you want to be called biracial or mixed or half caste?
Um, but to be honest, I want to be called human, and
Human.
that's it.
I understand.
Yeah. Now, just in recent years, I personally, I just don't believe in the labeling based on color. I just don't believe that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of my friends who are one of their parents is it's from the West, is white. So let me put it that way,
Mm,
and the other parent is black. They also face these kind of problems a lot. Sometimes they feel like they have to choose, especially when
mm.
they are like with their black families. They are always
Oh
being,
yeah.
it's like, you're not enough, so you cannot be black.
Mm,
You are not like us. Then they always have to like
yeah.
prove themselves to be part of them.
Yeah.
But also when they come
That's
to
right.
the white side, they're like, well, you're not really white. It's better for you to go to, the other side. So it's like,
Mm,
it's this constant struggle. They are always like in between. And
yeah.
some people actually get depressed because they feel like they're not accepted
Mm,
anywhere they go. And some
mm,
people, like maybe like you, they're like, yeah, I'm
yeah.
Brian, I don't actually care what
But
people.
I mean, there is a point there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, yeah, I'm Brian, and I choose not to identify myself with any race. But
Yeah.
that's something that I've taught myself, and then before you know it, you become a little bit of an Einzelganger. Yeah. So
a
then you
little
go
bit
your
of
own
a
road,
a little bit of
Einzelganger.
Eiselganger. What
Yeah.
does that
So
mean?
it's like you're your own. You're one person, and you do not align or affiliate. So you
Mm,
become just your own warrior, call it like that.
mm,
And yeah, I don't think I won't say I won't tell everyone, oh yes, please choose my way. It's the best. It's not. It's not.
okay.
It also has a considerable weight to it as well. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have advice for people like you, people who one parent is from, is white and the other parent is black? Do you have advice for people like that who are maybe struggling with their identity and stuff like that?
Mm. Well, honestly, my advice to people like that is see it like this: you have the best of both worlds.
Hmm.
You actually have the best of both worlds, and you have it all in your hands, and you are actually it. difficult to control everything. Yeah. I
Wow.
personally feel that people might disagree with me, but mixed people, black and white, are the most privileged in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well. Honestly, I think so. I think so, but I'm sure people will definitely disagree. They'll be like, no, it's more white people who are more privileged and stuff like that. I think these
Mm.
people have the most advantage because they can
Yeah,
eat from both sides, you know.
exactly.
They can honestly
Oh,
for me
exactly.
like this, I can't eat from my only one side. Oh,
Yeah.
that's I'm kidding. So how was the study life here? Because I assume it's totally different than in Saint Lucia. Here in the Netherlands, people are very strict. Well, strict, not
Yeah.
like they're very straightforward. They speak their
Mm.
mind. They don't sugarcoat. They don't go, through ways to, they are very
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
straight. And so, how was the study life here? And
I mean, initially study life when I just started up and tried it out, it was quite difficult because yeah, I think that had more to do with the time when I came to the Netherlands. I feel
and
at
which
that
year was
time,
that?
2010,
Okay.
and I feel at that time, not necessarily racism, but prejudice was still a thing here, very strongly, sort of. I mean, a lot of people would disagree with me because Netherlands is known as an open-minded country. But still, I still felt that way. And I do feel as of recent, like after 2014, 15, sort of, it's like the Netherlands became a more open and accepting society. So, yeah, in the beginning, yeah, it was definitely a struggle, um, which also impacted my studies as well.
Oh, in which
Um,
way?
yeah, in the way, like, first ever study that I just felt so uncomfortable that I said, no, this is not for me.
Was it that bad? Wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
In
Yeah, yeah.
Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam, in Amsterdam.
Oh,
Yeah. And then, yeah, ultimately changed schools. And then I started to find like a completely different type of people. So I also feel that had a lot to do with the type of study which I chose to do.
okay. But
So
because did you
then I,
change course the second time?
exactly, exactly,
To what?
exactly.
Which
Yeah.
studies?
So
What studies?
at first I began with international business. Um, but yeah, I think maybe a lot of people know what type of people you can find there. But then afterwards, I decided to change to tourism,
Oh,
something which
okay.
was more in my lane. I come from a very touristic place in the Caribbean, so it was more in my lane. And then you also started to notice, oh, this is a different type of people who I'm meeting
People.
here in the study. Um,
Mm.
and I would say I feel like that had a big influence on me prevailing and getting my studies done. Yeah.
Okay. And the second school, where was it? Was it in Amsterdam as well?
Yeah, so the second school which I did ultimately was in Deventer.
Oh, Deventer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that's
huh?
even deeper into the Netherlands, but yet
Yeah.
still more open-minded.
That's what I
Uh,
don't get. Ross. Amsterdam is the multicultural, city. You have different type of race there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm kind of shocked. I don't. Are you sure? Not that I don't doubt you, obviously, but like I'm just.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey,
No, but that's
Dave.
that's
Wow, I don't even
I
know
think
any.
I think also that's also a personal thing of me. When I look at all of my Dutch friends or Dutch acquaintances, the people who I relate to the most are all from small towns or from the east of the Netherlands.
Hmm,
So yeah, I'm gonna label it, and I hope people don't get offended.
hmm.
The farmers. I relate much more to these types of people. So people from Harderwijk, people from Deventer, from Overijssel, from Limburg. That's the type of people I relate to. But I notice in the Randstad, I don't relate to many people.
But because what was you were saying, you said in Amsterdam in the school, there were a lot of racial stuff and stuff and going
Mhm.
on, and you think that you kind of get a bit maybe scared and you move away from Dutch people and you go maybe towards more like, you find like, you go and,
Yeah, yeah,
look for
yeah.
the black people more to, be
Mhm.
around. But okay,
So
why
I feel
so?
honestly, I feel like the reason is just because, like, okay, I come from the Caribbean. We have a lot of rich heritage. And so in the Netherlands, when you go more to the countryside or what they call the platteland,
Mm-hmm.
there's also a rich heritage there. So I feel like people with heritages connect better with each
Okay, I understand.
other.
I see that you have dreadlocks.
Mhm.
So if when you are with your friends who are from the countryside,
Mm.
don't they ask questions?
Oh yeah, I do get questions. I do get questions. And the judging part, yes, it does start because yeah, they see someone coming. They say like, oh, this guy comes from the city area, and so they already generalize you or categorize you into what they know of people with that type of hair in those cities.
Mm.
But then quickly they, you start to speak to them, and then they notice like, hey, this is a different type of person. He speaks very differently, and he actually doesn't come from where we thought he came from. So then you already see they're much more open to it. And then obviously they ask about, Rastafarians and all of that. I enlighten them a little bit on the practices of Rastafarians. And please allow me to say this. I am not necessarily a Rastafarian, but I respect their values and I carry out that lifestyle. But it
Okay.
doesn't mean that I share the same belief.
Okay.
So
But
it's a liberty which I respect and carry out. Yeah. So let's put it like this: if you would put it in a religion aspect, no, I am not religious. Yeah. But in a life aspect, so the way you carry yourself and your mind, the positivity in your mind and that such those things, that is what I embrace.
did you
Yeah.
had it since the Caribbean or
As a
you came?
teenager, I wanted to have dreadlocks, but my mother told me, no, 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 because you will get into a lot of trouble on this island with dreadlocks.
In Saint Lucia?
Yeah, so that's the thing about the Caribbean. It's very two-faced, where Rastafarianism comes from, sorry that I say ism. Rastafarian is not a ism; it's Rastafarian. Um, yeah, generally it's a diaspora which was birthed over there, but there is a lot of prejudice on it by its own people, own Caribbean people. Yeah, basically pressing it down. Yeah,
Wow.
I've had an experience during my studies actually where I applied to do an internship at a well-known hotel chain in the Caribbean, and I was had my interview with actually a German national person who works over there in the Caribbean, who themselves was very embarrassed to tell me that they could not hire me because I'm sporting dreadlocks.
What?
Yeah.
Why were they? I don't know. Did they think that, if they hire you, you will scare the guests away? Or what is it
Just
about
generally
being Rastafarian?
I don't know. It's generally a weird thing in the Caribbean. Rastafari, the whole lifestyle comes from there, but then at the same time, they they put a bad stigma on it. Yeah, a bad stigma on it, and they push it away. So hence why Bob Marley talk about a bald head culture. So you have in the Caribbean a very big bald head culture, which is I just think it's the traumas resulting out of colonialism, which a lot of Caribbean people do not realize is still controlling them. Yeah.
Wow. I would rather think that in the Caribbean, maybe 90% of the men, I don't know, will have, dreadlocks and stuff like that. But okay. Wow. But were you eventually able to find an internship?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, I did my internship here in the Netherlands, and that's when my eyes started opening to, let's call it a open-minded world. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing about the West or about the Netherlands that I also like. Before moving here, I also didn't really know that much. But when I came here, I realized that I would say like my eyes opened,
Yeah.
I got to know a lot of stuff, get to know different cultures, get to know how to interact with people and stuff like that. I do understand what you mean when you say that. Okay. Where are you most happy? Here in the Netherlands or in the Caribbean?
Mm, yeah, it's a
Or which
difficult
one will
thing
you
to say.
choose? Yeah, to live actually.
Honestly, I would still pick the Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why so?
And I know a lot of probably 97 or 99.9% of all mixed people would probably say, yeah, no, the Caribbean. But I'm very different when that is concerned. Yeah.
Why would you choose the Netherlands over the
Let's
Caribbean?
just put it like this. I think I'm still following that road towards more freedom. And the freedom which what I define as freedom is learning,
Mm.
awareness of cultures, of differences, of similarities even. And in the Caribbean, you only have, yeah, mostly Caribbean people who are connected to their own diaspora. But here in the Netherlands, you have all forms of people. So you still keep learning and getting to know different cultures without even being in the country of that culture.
Mm.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, my freedom is defined by what it is, my knowledge, what it is I learn from. And this one will probably cause a controversy. Um, I've always said when I retire, I wish to retire in the north of Sweden.
In the north of where?
Sweden.
Oh, from
Yes.
the Caribbean to the Netherlands to
Mm.
north of Sweden.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
so?
No, like I've gone to Sweden a few times. Seen the culture, meet the people. I just love. I love their being. I love their levity. I love their lifestyle. I just like the culture which they embrace. And the part about going to the north of Sweden is about just escaping the normal,
Mm.
escaping the normal, getting more in tune with a different form of nature. I think they are super friendly. I don't know if you know how Swedish people greet each other, but that is the happiest greeting I've ever seen in my life.
How do they greet people? I've never.
It's just like, hey, hey. That is the formal way to greet someone. So,
Hey, hey, double hey. If someone says that to me in the morning, they will look at you. Just imagine 6 o'clock in the morning, you're running to go and get your
yeah,
train, and someone, hey, hey, oh, please, I just woke up. Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay. Have you
Yeah.
gone back to the Caribbean since you came here on vacation?
No, that's not come back as yet. No.
Don't you miss it?
No,
Oh,
no.
wow. I feel like someone just shot
uh,
me. The way you said no. Wow, wow, woo.
no, but I
How,
just think that this just has to do with my personality. I have a exploring personality, so I keep wanting to go forward
okay, not stay
instead
one
of,
place.
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
It wouldn't
okay,
be like I'm going backward if I'm going to the Caribbean, no, but I just want to continue going forward.
okay.
Yeah.
But would you like to go there on vacation sometime again, or?
Well, I mean, my partner does. My
Oh,
partner
your
does.
partner is from there?
No. My partner is also a mixed child, but a different type of mixed child. Um, and yeah, she does take interest in going there.
Okay,
Me personally, I'm not ready yet. I still want to explore a little bit more,
okay.
but I do know one day it will
One day, one day. But don't you have
happen.
any final words, any words to any special person? Is there
Mm,
something that you're doing that you would like people to patronize or look out for? If there's anything, just put it out there.
yeah. Well, I mean, as a personal advice towards anyone, regardless of color or race or anything, just believe in yourself. Yeah, just believe in yourself. Everything that you can already define in your mind, that's something that you can achieve. Yeah. If you're able to conceptualize it, then why not try it?
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
It's so
mm.
simple. Keep it easy. Keep it simple for yourself.
Easy
If you
life.
see it, then everyone will see it. Yeah.
Very simple advice. Short and powerful. I like that. Have you finished school yet? Have you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
working now?
Yeah, I'm working now.
Okay, that's great. That's great. You've become a real Dutch person. You've really integrated into. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you so much for
Yes,
coming
thank
on
you
here.
too.
I really, really do appreciate you. And brothers and sisters, like I've already said, if you have any story to share, you're also coming from Caribbean or Africa or South. South America is the Caribbean, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All those islands. I don't that everything together is the Caribbean, right? South America, the islands, and
The islands are the Caribbean. South America is what you call Latin America. And they join them together as Latin America and Caribbean. Yeah.
Hey, wow. Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't know.
I think we mostly define that by languages.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly. Yeah.
Okay, me too. I've learned something today. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
that lesson. So when you're so if you're from Latin America, Caribbean,
Yeah.
Africa, you grew up there and you moved to the West, you have a story to share, please do send me a DM on my Instagram at afritalk_pod or send me an email at afritalkp@gmail.com. And that's all I have for you. Please do subscribe, click on the notification bell, comment, like, and share this video with everyone. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.